Hello, welcome to the Weather Hazard Briefing as presented by National Weather Service Pocatello for Friday, Veterans Day, November 11th. Here's what you'll see in this presentation. Arctic cold and a dry air mass has returned to central and eastern Idaho. This morning we did have single digits in teens for overnight lows in the Snake River Plain and below zero in some of the basins in the central Idaho mountains, including temperatures as low as 22 below zero. And we're looking for low clouds and patchy fog all over. You'll see it on our satellite image, and that is likely to continue as high pressure sort of dominates for the most part, except for a little while on Saturday. We are expecting a low to drop through California and Nevada, and as it does spread some clouds and gives a slight chance of snow to the central Idaho mountains. But that is short-lived and should have very little impact, especially when it comes to snowfall amounts and winds. After Saturday, there still is some low confidence in what will exactly happen, but the storm track will, instead of coming from the west coast, will be coming from central Canada. This usually means storms do not pack a lot of moisture, mostly because they're just really cold. And the only thing they could really bring is wind, and even that's very difficult to do, to bring northerly winds in here that are of any significant strength. There is a slight chance of snow in the eastern highlands from Monday afternoon to Monday night, though, as one of them does sort of carve out and move a little bit further west than any of the other storms during this week. So here's a satellite image from this morning where you see the light blue clouds. That is stratus and fog that's in close contact, in the case of fog on the ground, or close to the ground in the case of stratus. And you can see it's filling up the Snake River Plain and the eastern highlands quite well, quite widespread. Missing right around the Burley area, and right in here is where it sort of is cleared out. And that fog will eventually evaporate this afternoon. And we'll be teased by it probably every morning, never in the same place twice, and probably not as extensive as it is today. On the west coast, you can see here there is the next storm that's coming in. This, like I said, is the one that will drop into California, Nevada, and go south and around Idaho. And this is the storm track. You can see a lot of the storms lining up here. Most of them, if you notice, they're tracking northward, so they're going to go up over the ridge and then come down eventually from Canada into the U.S. once again. So here's our weather risk outlook table. You can see there's not much going on. It's all green, and there's just a slight chance of snow here on Saturday for the central Idaho mountains, and then a slight chance on Monday, mostly Monday afternoon and Monday night for the southeast and eastern highlands. So here's a surface weather depiction. You can see high pressure dominating us today. You can see the storm moving into the coast is producing rain and snow in a lot of Oregon. Here's the highs for today. Staying fairly actually cooler than yesterday, with Pocatello only reaching 30 degrees. Stanley in the sunshine reaching 35. Here's the overnight lows. As that low moves towards us, like I said, more clouds means the temperatures are warmer than this morning for tonight. And you can see Stanley, instead of being around 12 below zero, is actually above zero at +1. Most of the below zero temperatures are further east, where the skies will remain clearer. So, for instance, Island Park is expecting 5 below. Here's Saturday's outlook. You can see as that low crosses into northern California, it does spread some light snow threat chances to central Idaho, as you see outlined by the white, and not very impactful. Here's the chance. You can see it barely reaches 20%, which is sort of our dividing line for when it gets a mention in any of our narrative products. So just low impact here. And you can see even for late tonight, or on Sunday night, there's still not much going on here. And for Saturday's forecast, you can see we are starting on a warming trend now that the clouds have disappeared. 39 in Stanley, and they'll be the hot spot. A lot of these low temperatures in the Snake River Plain, probably due to the fact that there's stratus and fog that needs to be evaporated. Overnight lows again, 10 to 15 degrees for the heavily populated areas in the Snake River Plain. And wherever you see that dark blue, it's getting to around 0, and even some below 0 up in West Yellowstone. Again, here on Sunday, high pressure has returned. I'm not expecting any precipitation on that day. And here are the temperatures, about the same as before. Overnight lows, once again, about the same, maybe a little bit cooler as the northerly flow sets up over us and strengthens. Here's Monday's highs. You can see once again what staying freezing mark or below for most locations, especially where the towns and cities are, and much colder, of course, in the mountains. For Monday, as I said, starting Monday afternoon, there's a slight chance with a storm track now to the east of us, coming out of Canada through Montana and Wyoming, and you can see it could spread a slight chance of precipitation here in our eastern and southeast highlands, and that continues overnight as well. That's all I have. If you have any further questions, you can always contact us at the telephone number here, or check out the weather yourself at weather.gov/Pocatello. Thanks for watching.